moving on to public participation. Community input. Public comments are permitted upon submission of a completed registration card prior to the start of public participation. This is not a forum for debate policy concerning, not a forum for policies, debate, policy concerns, different sentence, sorry. Policy concerns will be referred to the superintendent. When called, speakers may proceed to the podium, state their name and trustee area, and speak for the allotted time. The amount of time will be announced by the board president before the first speaker begins and will not exceed 3 minutes. How many speakers do we have?
18.
3 minutes.
Michael Paisner, Jean Saglim, and Rachel Ugly.
Ms. Olson, can you actually look at me?
Welcome, Michael.
Thank you. Wow, you're actually looking at me. You use the phrase respectful of all families, and you look down again. You still can't see me or anyone on this side of the room, and use that phrase in any earnestness. Respectful of all families? Unbelievable. Recently, Ms. Olson said the quiet part out loud on Instagram. She advocated against the book Pride Month, complaining it normalizes the LGBTQ community by providing definitions. What's next? Is she going to edit the dictionary to remove the words she doesn't like? She is trying to make our community into 1984, but I fear only 2 of the 5 board members even understand that reference. Foolish me trying to explain discrimination to David Duke. I bet some of you got that reference, but I fear 3 of you are actually flattered by it. In California, there are laws against discrimination. AB 1078 prevents removing books based on LGBTQ content. The FAIR Act requires inclusion of LGBTQ content in the curriculum. The mission statement directs you to include everyone, and basic human decency demands the same. Olson's blatant statements of hatred and exclusion not only risk civil and criminal action against the school district, it defines her as a small, scared, and cruel person. Ms. Rendler, I notified you of Ms. Olson's discriminatory post, and as is typical, I got no response. Ms. Olson attacks her own constituents, and still, you refuse to censure her or make any condemnation of her discriminatory behavior. To paraphrase Edmund Burke, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. Ms. Rendler, you fail to stand up for those being attacked when you have the power to do so. That is not the behavior of a good person. But clearly you have the do nothing part down really, really well, because that's all you do, nothing. Redlands deserves better. The people of this community deserve better. You have the responsibility to represent everyone, and Ms. Rendler, you have failed. Every time you let Olson shenanigans go unchecked, you fail again. She has engaged in discriminatory behavior over and over, and Ms. Rendler, you are doing nothing about it. We exist on this side of the room. Unfortunately, you don't seem to realize it, Ms. Rendler, because you're not standing up for us, and it's really a shame.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome, Jean.
Yes, my name is Jean Salam, and I'm from Melissa's district. Excuse me, not district, trustee area. My public comment is regarding diversity. Diversity is the fabric of America. Diversity is our strength, and our unity is our power. Redlands RUSD will never be rid of its diversity. The people of the RUSD will unite to take back the school board so that all students fully are accepted, supported, and celebrated in the school district. The people united will never be defeated. Your neo-Nazi colonization colonization is not welcome here.
Thank you, Jean. Welcome back, Rachel.
Thank you. All right. What is really sad is that the city of Redlands School District is not following the purpose as it stated, that academic achievement for all students ensure that every student receives quality education with high expectations and innovative partnerships. For those that profess not to know what's happening or what this means or don't have a degree in it, there are excellent books by David and Tim Barton about what the old schoolhouse taught. And it's really shameful that those in the third grade at that time is not even accomplished by our 12th graders. Foster an environment that attracts and retains high-quality employees. Build a positive work culture for teachers and staff. Provide opportunity for every student to participate fully. Support inclusive programming across academics, athletics, and extracurricular activities. That is the goal of the school board, not to go and be a cultural, social environment. Those that came before us went through that basic education. That's why we are here with all the highly skills from Ben Carson to Abraham Lincoln, everyone. It was the education that led them here. And that's why we're here. It's to learn. If you want to be a farmer, if you want to be a nurse, a surgeon, a president, you have to know the basics, science, math, how to read and write. That's not happening because that's not the focus of this board to vote on the other. You confuse students when you can have one room or one wall, 3 walls, be free of everything, but you have one area where the kids see it every single day. And naturally, kids all want to be liked and have friends.
Thank you, Rachel.
Next, we have Valerie Savis, followed by Erica Grossman and Dale Broom.
So due to a lot of money paid out for sexual abuse lawsuits, bad financial decisions during COVID, and the woke agenda happening in schools, our enrollment is down, and now many are facing layoffs. As parents have become aware of what is really happening in classrooms, they are choosing to homeschool or turn to private school. They may not be here at these board meetings yelling obscenities like the members of the radical group Together for Redlands does. They are showing their disdain for the system in a mature way. They are taking action by removing their child from the environment. Trust has been broken, and the public education system has taken a back seat to politics and indoctrination. Children should be the priority, not used as political pawns, such as what happened during the walkout last month. Groups like Redlands Free Market, Safe Redlands Schools, and even some of our teachers put those kids in danger. Most parents do not want classrooms filled with pride flags, inappropriate books, and teachers that push their political agenda, all while keeping secrets from them. And they definitely do not want boys in girls' spaces. Go back to basics, put education first, and trust will return, and so will then the families. But considering how you 3 voted, and why isn't Melissa staring at me? You're not looking at me. I find that very disrespectful. Considering how you three voted, I kind of doubt that you'll see your enrollment going up. And one of the previous speakers pointed out they like to criticize Candy Olson for not just staring down the speakers, all while the whole time Melissa was looking down while other speakers were talking. So why not get enraged over her? I'm so mad at you for not staring at me. Rude.
Thank you, Valerie. Welcome back, Erico.
Yesterday I was in a classroom with 3 paras, and including one from an outside agency. The individual from the agency was on a phone and falling asleep. The district paras told me that this person has been behaving this way since being placed in a classroom last year. They reported the issue to the administration, but nothing has been done. They also share that this individual is not the only staff member from that agency who has disrupted classroom work. As a result, paras are now expected to manage the behavior of staff from outside agencies in addition to supporting students. That is not their responsibility. I understand that district plans to terminate its contract with this agency next year. However, we still have 3 months left, and it's deeply irresponsible for the district to leave these issues unaddressed. Paras are already underpaid, yet their responsibilities continue to increase. This situation directly harms special education students and clearly reflects how little the district prioritizes their needs. Okay. I have 2 books for you. One is Day Came for the Schools. This one discusses how an inclusive learning approach was implemented in a suburban Texas school district after racist incidents became public. This happened a few years ago. Following those events, extremists organized attacks on the school system, pressured for book bans and targeted LGBTQ plus students. That should sound familiar, right? And the second book, One Day I Grow Up and Be a Beautiful Woman. This is also a true story written by the mother of a trans girl. She initially struggles to accept her daughter's identity, but when she finally affirms her child, the school and the district begin working against them. It is devastating to read. And I sincerely hope our district never goes down that same path. Michelle, I truly want you to read this. Also, at the last board meeting, Candy said that Beth Bourne is her hero. Beth Bourne harasses children and claims it's her freedom of speech. She was even fired from her job for bigoted behavior. Thank you.
Thank you, Erico. Welcome back, Dale.
Dale Broom, Area 1. I wanted to discuss with the board tonight the false and inflammatory name-calling that's being used by the members of Together for Redlands at the school board. And I bring this up because it is not just name-calling, it's resulting in criminal activity against school board members, against candidates, and their conservative supporters. Since the school board was elected, the Together for Redlands members, specifically 6 individuals alone in the last 12 months, or the first 12 months of this new school board, they have called our school board members and their followers racist or bigots 20 times. 6 individuals. They've called them Nazis or fascists 18 times. White Christian nationalists 13 times. Transphobic or homophobic 47 times. They've made derogatory statements about the Ark Church over 16 times. Just 6 individuals alone. And that doesn't count all the other individuals who've made these derogatory and inflammatory name-calling. And the evidence of the criminal activity that has resulted includes swastika tagging on the Ark Church's signs out front of their church. Placement of yard signs on Ark Church property indicating that a KKK meeting was being held there on several evenings when it was simply a Bible study. Tagging of the Ark Church retaining walls with KKK insignias. Smothering of the Ark Church parking lot entrances with roofing nails, causing tire damage to church staffers' truck. Disruption of peaceful and lawful political table events at local markets with attempts to overthrow the tables. We've had disruption and obstruction of volunteers and school board candidates who are out doing political canvassing in neighborhoods where several of their followers come yelling out of their house, chasing people off their property, chasing them down the street, and trying to obstruct them from being able to go from one neighbor to the next to do political canvassing, which is perfectly lawful to do. But obstructing somebody on a public thoroughfare is against the law. And these are people that I don't even know who've done this to me. And I'll tell you this, it's only because this rhetoric that happens in this school board and it's getting promoted on social media. So the board has some rules about profanity, but we don't have rules about inflammatory speech that provokes criminal activity. And I think that the board should really seriously consider this because as much as I love free speech, it doesn't promote, you should not be able to promote criminal activity. And more importantly, I would urge people not to support Together for Redlands anymore with their finances or for board candidates to even align themselves with this group. Thank you.
Next, we have Lawrence Hebron, followed by Peter Hall, and then Aaron Perez.
Good evening again. My name is Lawrence Hebron. I live in Area 3. There's been a lot of consternation about all the layoffs the Redlands School District has had to make recently. There are many reasons for this, but here's one that you would be well advised to keep in mind if you want to avoid having to make a lot more in the future. Take a moment to remember your favorite restaurant. You like the food, you like the service, and it's conveniently located. Now imagine you went there to find they had completely changed the menu. And not only change it, but change it to things you don't care for, like rattlesnake venom cocktails, tofu worm burgers, pond scum shakes, and tofu fungus fritters. What's more, the serving staff has taken a decidedly snarky and abusive tone, including telling your family members what they should believe. Would you go back, or would you look for another restaurant? You know the answer. Well, a lot of parents have a similar reaction to the menu the Redlands School Board has been offering for the last several years, and they are voting with their feet, choosing private schools and homeschools instead. Overwhelmingly, they don't like your obsession with disparaging America, opting for sexually graphic instructional materials in books and libraries, keeping parents in the dark about critical matters, and generally pushing agendas with which they strongly disagree. The reaction to these unpopular policies was predicted, including by me. And now you are paying the price. At a board meeting over a year ago from this very podium, I asked, quote, why would parents pay thousands of dollars a year on tuition, books, and other supplies to send their children to a private school when they could send them to a public school for no additional expense? Why would parents assume the weighty responsibility of teaching their own children every subject for every year when trained professionals are available to do that for no additional trouble? Obviously, the public schools are not providing something which these parents feel is critical, or the public schools are forcing something which these parents feel is intolerable. As a result, there are hundreds of classroom seats that are empty because of the decision of these parents to go elsewhere. And that means we don't need as many teachers, custodians, food service workers, bus drivers, and security guards. And what's more, we don't have the money to pay them. End of quote. When you adopt policies that offend a number of parents, they leave. And this hurts your ability to hire and pay good personnel to do the work of education. The solution is simple. Don't indulge such offending policies. Stick to the basics, not indoctrination. Maybe everybody won't be happy, but neither will you give cause for offense, mass exodus, and mass layoffs. On the other hand, if you want to kill jobs and the ability to pay your current employees, then keep doing what you've been doing and be prepared to write even more layoff notices.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. Welcome back.
We've heard the word culture and the phrase cultural war bandied about a lot lately. Well, I'm here to say that people like me did not start the culture war. We're just responding to it. People like them are the ones that started it, and now they're telling us to stop fighting and to just surrender. Well, to that I say, no, we will not stop fighting you. You started this, and we're going to finish it. We're tired of you telling us what to do. We're tired of you making these ridiculous demands about things that are not important. We're tired of you trying to dictate ridiculous nonsense that has no bearing in reality whatsoever. If you want to, wear the rainbow pride flag as a lapel or whatever on your clothing, or, carry a personal flag, then you can do that. But to demand that the school fly your pride flag is just wrong. And I don't even think that we should let people do that just for themselves, because we won't let Christians wear crosses around their necks. People get in trouble for wearing the Gadsden flag as a t-shirt, or wearing the Appeal to Heaven as a t-shirt, or wearing the Confederate battle flag as a t-shirt. People get into a high school kid got into trouble for holding a pro-immigration customs enforcement flag, and then he got beaten up, and he was the one that got into trouble for promoting hateful messages, but the person that assaulted him got away with it. No, we will not stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Hello, my name is Aaron Perez, Area 3. I have a daughter who attends Kingsbury Elementary School. I made a CDE complaint in September. The CDE found that the district was in violation. The CDE wrote out directives to the school district to correct it. And then the school district has violated those CDE orders. And I sent a cease and desist letter to the district. And the cease and desist letter is being ignored. So I need your help to get my cease and desist letter honored until this matter can be resolved. My daughter has dyslexia. My daughter is upset. My daughter is suffering as a result of this district violating the directives from the CDE. So this is a violation of the law that has occurred, and I need your help, because every time we reach out for help, we're stonewalled and they don't give us answers. So I need you to direct your staff to help me so that my child can get the help they need. I've spoken to Juan Cabral. I've spoken to Mr. Rossi, and I emailed you all the cease and desist letter last night. I need your assistance to implement the cease and desist letter. I'm not telling you to tell them what to do. I'm asking you to have them honor the cease and desist letter that I, as a parent, have sent to the district. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Aaron.
Next, we have Joshua Hall, followed by Karen Starr and Kate Appleby.
Welcome back, Joshua.
I want to talk about the anti-ICE protests and how ridiculous they are, and how teachers and school officials are contributing to the truancy and delinquency of students. A couple weeks ago on Tennessee and Orange, I saw about 300 students, ages first grade through high school, protesting ICE. They went into the staters on Tennessee and Orange and, messed it up before they were kicked out. And I just have to ask, why are high school kids and first graders, second graders and so forth, going to anti-ICE protests? Kids should be in school. They should not be going to anti-ICE protests. Teachers and school officials are contributing to their delinquency and truancy just for political gain. And the anti-ICE protests are just a way for people who hate America, both immigrants and American citizens who hate America, to showcase their hatred towards America and towards other Americans and toward white people in general and white males and towards people who support the borders. Without borders, you don't have a culture. Without borders, you don't have law. Without borders, you don't have order. And the anti-ICE protests are just a way to get Americans, specifically white Americans, but anyone who is pro-law and order and pro-borders, to just shit down and accept their status as second and third class citizens while immigrants who hate America are treated better than citizens. And kids who are white are, they're told that they're bad because they're white, and kids who are not white are told that they're victims because they're not white. White people are not the only colonizers. We make 8% of the global population, and with the current rate of mass migration into America, Canada, and Western Europe, we're the ones who are currently being colonized now. But because of our history of colonization in the past, we're told to just shut up and take it. I hate the phrase that America is a land of immigrants. Technically, that's factually true, but it obscures a lot of falsehoods. There's a difference between immigrants and settlers. Settlers come to a country that is mostly uninhabited and undeveloped, and they develop it. Immigrants come to a country that's already developed, and some of them might contribute, but like a lot of them don't. They just come to live off welfare, and a lot of them come to do even more than just live off of welfare. A lot of them come to abuse the citizenry who pays the taxes and victimize them through violent and property crime, and the citizens are then expected to tolerate it. It's not fair.
Thank you, Joshua. Welcome.
I'm Karen Starr, live in Area 1. My daughter has a chronic illness with waxing and waning symptoms. Some days she can fully engage, some days she cannot. The variability is part of her disability, not defiance, not lack of effort. She's missed approximately 50% of the school year and is now failing all of her classes. Instead of meaningful monitoring and intervention, she received detention. Accommodations have been delayed, narrowed, denied, and appropriate options for learning have not been provided. The district does not have a meaningful plan for chronically ill students whose conditions fluctuate. Students who are medically vulnerable and struggling to stay connected in school. The district does not have a plan to recognize when children are hospitalized and how to get them back integrated into school when they're already behind. When a child is at their most fragile, that is when a system should lean in and not step back. My daughter did not fall behind because she cannot learn. She fell behind because the system did not respond. Please give my daughter a chance to obtain an education and stop putting rigid policy over individual needs and disability law. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Good evening again, board. At 20 to 10. I do want to talk a little bit about December 9th when you adopted your Board of Education Governance Handbook. I didn't think I was going to pull this out again, but here we are. Page 12. Michelle, President Rendler, there have been violations to the norms and protocols tonight several times, and you have not addressed them with your board. They are your board. You need to hold them accountable. I know that's scary. I know Melissa's got a big personality. I know Candy has a big personality. And I know big personalities in a room together is terrifying for someone who does not know how to manage big personalities. But you were elected president, so I need you to learn how to manage big personalities, and I need you to do your job. You adopted this. This is your responsibility to uphold, not theirs. I mean, it should be theirs as well, but it is yours. So please, make this your focus. If you want to focus on students at the beginning so that we all have all good feelings while we're here, I appreciate that. I love hearing from the kids. But this is important for how they function with each other, and you are their leader. That's not what I wanted to come to say today. I actually wanted to come and talk to you for making the State of the District open to all community members. My CVHS student and I both found the information and the evening incredibly insightful. The very first goal for the district is literacy by third grade, and it was acknowledged that the reason for this is that after third grade, students are reading to learn. So if they don't know how to read, they can't read to learn. Makes perfect sense. I would ask this board, though, to go further with this goal and acknowledge that reading proficiency requires constant practice, like going to the gym, and that you would protect the space that provides guaranteed access to books for all students. That is a fully staffed school library. If literacy is truly a district goal, then school libraries and books should be a priority. But actions by this board and RUSD show otherwise. The layoff of all the classified library staff will hobble our literacy goal. The only library staff at RUSD elementary schools are those classified library paraprofessionals. You just effectively shut your elementary libraries down. There will be no trained professional staff to support our students' literacy. And the only staffing at the secondary school sites will be your credentialed teacher librarian, which means that one of two things is going to happen. The library will be either open to all students all the time, which is great and fantastic, but the collaboration with teachers and students in classes will be cut, or library services will be limited while they work with teachers and students.
Thank you, Kate.
Next is Valerie Tabor, Craig Johnson, and Mark Laird.
Welcome back, Valerie.
Thank you. First of all, I think that it is really disrespectful to staff that the layoff emails came today at 5 p.m. with less than an hour before the board meeting. Perhaps that is not the intention, but it felt disrespectful to many staff because I'm hearing about it. If you didn't want that, it makes the appearance that you didn't want them to be here angry at you. So maybe plan that a little bit differently next time. Preferably not at 5 p.m. That'd be great. The second thing that I wanted to ask about is that you brought up that volunteers are not going to be able to replace classified staff, Mr. Cabral. And if they are not allowed to replace the classified paraprofessionals, then Ms. Appleby is indeed correct that you are effectively shuttering our libraries. Because if you cannot have the volunteers go back to running them, which is what the case was for many of our elementary schools, and you cannot afford to keep them staffed, then how do they run? How do students have access to the libraries? I would really like to know what the plan is for that, because my student is in elementary school, and I would like him to have access for the next 4 to 5 years that he's on that campus. Second of all, I have no idea what Dr. Wilson's preferences are, but it hits wrong that you call him Rudy. If I had a doctorate, I would want to be referred to as a doctor. That's the minimum respectfulness. That's it.
Thank you, Valerie. Welcome, Craig.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm gonna keep it polite. I'm not gonna try to be rude. I've been waiting for a Title IX investigation for a report. It'll be 2 years in September. My nephews were molested at Franklin Elementary, and I don't know who did it. Was it a faculty member? Was it a teacher? I spoke to you many times, Rudy. I've been really cool, and I'm really upset. The way I'm containing myself right now, the way I'm acting, is not the way I feel at all. And it sucks to have to do this. It's going to be 2 years. I don't know what happened to my nephews. There's also 8 other children in there that were molested. Do you guys know about that? Are you guys okay with that? How long does it take to type up a report? Who was in it? What happened? I talked to you about it, Mr. Cabral. You got any words for me? Anything? How long would it take you to type up a report? Mr. Wilson? How long? I want answers. The things I deal with, you guys wouldn't fucking imagine. I wake up at 3 a.m. Somebody just soiled themselves. They're screaming. They're having night terrors. I got a full-time job. I work more hours than you would imagine. I still do it day in and day out. How long does it take to report? I can't get the help that they need if I don't know what happened to them. I don't know what happened to them. Do you guys know? Are you guys complicit in it? What happened? Is this okay with you guys? Are you guys going to go home? You guys got kids? You guys going to go home and stare at your kids and be like, fuck? What are you going to tell them? What are you going to look at them? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? I just want my answers. I've been calm. I feel like I'm handling myself very appropriately, you know? Like, I'm fucking shaking right now. I'm so upset. This is not the way I want to handle it. And, man, like, this honestly isn't even the individual I am. I would handle this so poorly a million times over. But I'm trying. I've been patient. I've been more than patient, bro. It's going to be 2 years. 2 years in September, Rudy. I've came to you so correct. I've came to you so polite, so kind. Come on. It doesn't take that long. You won't. I need answers. Mr. Cabral, I need answers. Are you going to do something about this? Are you guys okay with this? There's 8 other kids. You guys are staring at me. I got all you guys' attention. That's real. I want answers.
Thank you, Craig.
You guys going to take care of it? Are you?
Thank you. I will direct the superintendent to. I will direct. Excuse me, Craig. I will direct the superintendent to follow up with you. And figure this out.
I want a follow-up. I want a report. 2 years in September. My kids were molested. 8 other kids.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's my turn now, right? I know that was heavy. Do we need a moment? Okay. Well, I will say I do feel, I feel slightly validated by some of these people that have come up here and spoken tonight because as a community member, I haven't felt listened to. And now I'm seeing its parents too. And it makes me really disheartened to see that. I'm going to read Michelle's own words back to her because I hope that we're keeping this promise going forward, Michelle. I am proud, a proud parent. It is both an honor and a responsibility to serve the communities of the Redlands Unified School District. As a board member, I have successfully and actively listened to all stakeholders in our district. I'm a stakeholder. I don't feel listened to. Many parents don't feel listened to. Have worked hard to represent their concerns. You are my representative. I feel tonight, one of your votes, you heard me out. I could see it. And so I'm grateful for that, but I'd like to see more going forward, Michelle. And have set policies that include their ideals grounded in the best interest of all. Grounded in the best interest of all. When I look at the statistics for my LGBT students, and I wish I had them pulled up right now, I got distracted. Gender-affirming schools, literally just recognizing pronouns was one of the statistics, and I know not everybody agrees with them. Even I have a hard time. I mess up, right? But it literally saves lives according to the statistics, according to the experts. That's one of the things. And if you have any questions or concerns about that, you can turn that to the American Counselors Association, American Psychiatric Association, PTA, National PTA, all of them. So, I also feel as though, Michelle, you could have addressed and censured Candy for last meeting. I even reached out to you personally. And I reached out pretty respectfully, and I just was asking for a follow-up. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think you knew the social media settings you were changing, but my response to that direct message was you disabled the ability to message you, which made me feel really unheard. It was the opposite of a response. It was a non-response, and it kept me from contacting you in the future. I would like for you to look into that, because even if you don't reply, I would like to be able to contact my board member, either by Instagram or by email, but if we have an account where we're running for school board, it should be accessible to the public, and I should be able to message you. So please, can you look into that for me? Anyways, I'm tired. It's been a long night. Thank you for your time. Please be mindful going forward of those things.
Thank you, Mark.
Next, we have Greg Britton, followed by Antonio and Brian Sagers.
Welcome, Greg.
Thank you. We've heard a number of times tonight that we should focus on things that matter. But of course, the left is highly focused on culture and the cultural aspect of what happens in school. Why? Because it does matter. Remember, I've quoted Lincoln to you. The philosophy in the classroom in one generation becomes the philosophy of government in the next generation, and hence the focus of the left on indoctrinating, sexualizing our children, not just here in Redlands, but across the country. But in a great victory for common sense and common decency, as you probably heard, but it wasn't discussed tonight, unfortunately, was the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the injunction in Marabelli versus Olson, which provides that, among other things, parents and guardians have a federal constitutional right to be informed if their public school child expresses gender incongruence. So that's not just, you can tell them. They have a constitutional right to know. That means you got to tell them. And is this board going to bring that up and make sure that the district staff understands that? The injunction goes on to say that teachers and school staff have a federal constitutional right to accurately inform the parent or guardian of their student when their student expresses gender incongruence. These federal constitutional rights are superior to any state or local laws, state or local regulations, state or local policies to the contrary. That is the law of the land, and I hope that this district will promptly implement them, not only because it's the law, because it's common sense and common decency. There's another initiative petition circulating for school choice. And as of a week or two ago, it had 600,000 signatures, triple the number of the previous attempt. As a number of us have cautioned you that if you keep doing things that your customers, the parents, don't like, they're going to take their business elsewhere. And increasingly, even without a school choice program at the state level, they have increasingly the ability to do so. There's excellent homeschooling programs, there are homeschooling cooperatives, there are private schools, and with AI, the ability to convey information without all of you will only increase. So I suggest, if you want to keep doing what you're doing, if you want to keep your jobs, as well as presumably trying to educate the children, you need to focus on those basics and improve your game and not do the left's culture war.
Thank you, Greg. Welcome, Antonio.
Hello. Today I am speaking on behalf of Rainbow Rose and RUSD Against ICE. We were the student-led group that organized the walkout. The reason why we organized the walkout was to demonstrate how we could mobilize the student body into taking direct action. We also wanted to convey our demands to the school board, considering how you have ignored our voices for the past year. Now, we sent an email on the 20th of February. That email was met with an automatic reply. So, it seems that you have ignored us. Now, this may not be intentional, but we will restate the demands once again to make sure it is clear. We want insurance from you guys that if any state thugs are deployed onto our school to kidnap any of our students, security will actually protect them and you will put safety as a top priority like you claim you do. Our second demand is that there is a rescinding of all the discriminatory policies you have put forth, as they only serve to put marginalized communities, such as the queer community, in harm's way. Again, that is not safety, that is putting people in danger. Now, I want to go on a personal note. I want to thank Dr. Wilson for his work earlier today, correcting the statement and keeping on track. But I also want to say it is disgusting how we sat here and let someone do great replacement theory and white man's burden and no one called it out. Keep in mind, these conspiracy theories were literally created by Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile. So I'm going to say this. You are so representative of the Epstein class. You allow children to be molested. You allow children to be raped. And what have you done for it? We saw that man wait 4 hours to yell about how his kids were molested. And you sat there and gave him no answers. That is fucking disgusting.
Last one, Ryan.
Hi, my name is Brian Seegers. I live in Area 5.
Oh, Brian, I'm sorry. I thought she said Ryan. It's...
Good.
Thank you.
About a month ago, my kid was strangled by another student, Jeanette. And when it happened, nurse notified me, went to the school, no answers were given. Talked to assistant principal. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to run through this as fast as I can in 3 minutes. No answers, walked outside, spoke with Officer Beck. Officer Beck understood what was going on. We were told it was under an investigation by school safety. My son came home. There were no pictures taken of his neck. He was, strangled to the point where his necklace broke. So when he came home, he still had the red mark around his neck. The next day, he returned to school. The student that did it was still in school and was still also in the same classroom. So I went back to the school and was told by the assistant principal again that they couldn't get a hold of the kid's parents, and that so they couldn't move him. I asked why they couldn't move my son. Got a bunch of other answers, run around. I was escorted outside by school safety again. And later that day, my son took it upon himself to go get changed out of his classroom. Nobody in administration took that upon themselves to make that happen. Nothing else was really said to us. Saturday night, I finally just made a Facebook post, figuring that I had to at least get it out there. That's when we got some traction. The principal and the assistant principal were not on site when this happened. The other assistant principal and principal weren't on site, so they found out about it Sunday. Monday went back in. The assistant principal that was there was dismissed. Anyways, I've went through everything. Title IX, which doesn't sound, there's not much confidence in that after hearing that man speak. Anyways, I sent you guys all an email about a standardized violent incident protocol after speaking to other administrators at other schools, counselors, and then concerned parents throughout the district. And it was basically a way for somebody like me, when I come into the school and I'm asking you what is going on and why can't I get these answers, you guys can literally point to a sign on the wall that says, we're on step 4, we're getting to where you're at 5, and that's happening, just something so it's showing a step-by-step thing. I feel like that would help the teachers, help administrators, and then parents that don't understand what's going on. I do appreciate Mr. Cabral, Ms. Olson. They replied to my email, and you guys have walked me through it. I appreciate the steps that you have taken, and I just hope to prevent it from happening again in the future to any student. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
That was our last speaker.